If you are a new viewer on this channel, watch part 1 first to understand the plot of this anime. The link is in the video description. Yuji continued his journey to the city of Ricard, but strangely, the road he was on was covered in thick fog. Yuji was confused, is this the right way? But when Yuji looked at the map, it turned out that the road was the direction to Ricard City. Then Yuji kept walking, and finally, he found a small village behind the thick fog. Everyone there greeted Yuji's arrival with a strange smile. This kind of situation is very suspicious and abnormal. Then Yuji met the headman there. He told Yuji to spend the night in this small village because it was still foggy. Yuji refused, but the headman still kept on offering him. Because of that, Yuji was forced to accept the village chief's invitation. They began to talk about the state of the village. Then the headman asked suspiciously, "Why did you come to this small village?" Yuji replied that he was just passing through and lost because of the thick fog. Yuji also asks the name of this village, and the headman says that this village is called Messiah. Then Yuji immediately left because he saw the strangeness of the residents here. Proud and the slimes are also suspicious of the behavior of the citizens. The situation in the village of the Messiah is not normal. Then they were out of the forest, and suddenly it was snowing. This is an entirely unexpected situation. The weather can change so quickly at this forest border, whereas before, it was just foggy. Yuji immediately went to Ricard City so he could have a good meal together with Proud and the slimes. Yuji uses magic to keep him and his pets from getting cold. After arriving at Ricard City, Yuji asked the guards there, "Why is the weather suddenly like this? And I heard that this city is famous for its delicious food." Then the guard said that the weather had changed drastically since 10 days ago. The guild leader of Ricard City didn't know what caused this weather change. Several residents have died due to the extreme weather. The guard also said that in this city there is a good restaurant called Torakate. Yuji's so excited because he rarely eats delicious food. Then Yuji went to the Torakate, and after arriving there, it turned out that the restaurant was closed. It may not even be open until tomorrow or the day after due to the extreme weather that lasted for 10 days. The firewood is used to warm itself. If people cut wood in the forest, the tree trunks are inevitably very cold and watery. Such wood is difficult to use as fuel and must be dried first. Because Yuji wanted to eat delicious food, he said goodbye to this beautiful lady. He immediately went to the forest to cut down trees. Yuji took out his axe and used magic to increase its power of this axe. After that, Yuji cut it into small pieces and absorbed the water in the wood. After drying, he put the wood into the slime storage and went to Torakate again. Yuji gave one piece of wood to this beautiful girl. Yuji explained that he was looking for firewood because he wanted to eat there. The beautiful girl was shocked. How could Yuji get dry wood like this? Then the beautiful girl called the head chef of the restaurant to check the dryness of the firewood. The head chef refused this wood because it was too dry and would quickly turn to ashes if exposed to fire. Then Yuji used his magic again to increase the moisture content in the firewood. The head chef was shocked. This was the first time he had found such perfect firewood. He didn't know how Yuji did it, but the head chef would cook delicious food for Yuji right now. He also asked, "How much firewood do you have?" Yuji told his slimes to moisten the wood the same as before, and Yuji would cut down more trees to fuel this restaurant as long as he got good food. After the food was served by the head chef, Yuji was very excited, and he immediately ate it. Then Yuji was satisfied with the food served and will eat here again tomorrow. But the beautiful girl said that tomorrow might not be able to open either. With this much firewood, the restaurant must also give some to the Adventurers Guild so that it can be distributed to several residents. In this city, there is a firewood crisis due to extreme weather. Then Yuji said he wanted to cut down many trees again and would come again tomorrow. He also said goodbye to the beautiful girl and the head chef, then immediately went to the Adventurers Guild to look for firewood quests. After arriving there, the quest board was only told to look for firewood. Yuji took one quest and enrolled himself into the Adventurers Guild. The receptionist accepted it and said that Yuji had to meet a logging instructor named Yudaka. After that, Yuji meets Yudaka in the forest to join the felling of trees here. Yudaka was greatly helped by having an adventurer like Yuji. The more people, the faster getting the firewood stock. But if the logging stage is manual, it won't be completed within 3 days. The lives of the residents are in danger due to the extreme weather. It takes at least 5 tons of firewood so that it can be distributed to all residents for 3 days. The Adventurers Guild has asked for help from another city, but there is still no response, and they will have to wait. Then Yuji asked, "What about the Messiah village? Why don't you ask for more people from there?" Yudaka said that the village of the Messiah is no longer inhabited because the residents have moved to another city. Yuji is getting increasingly suspicious. Suddenly, this extreme weather only occurs in a town, and the village of the Messiah doesn't actually have any inhabitants. Then who are they? Then Yuji will cut the trees there. At first, Yudaka wanted to teach him how to make the tree cut according to the criteria. However, Yuji didn't respond and immediately cut a row of trees. Yuji also dried these woods like before, then he cut down another tree. After it became small pieces that had been dried, Yuji put them into the slime storage. Finally, Yuji and Yudaka returned to the Adventurers Guild. Then when Yuji took out the wood, the receptionist said that Yuji's slime was similar to the one in the legend, a monster that can put anything into storage and can use magic. Yuji thought about the Citral priest. Maybe he knew the meaning of the legend, and sometime Yuji will ask him. The next day, Yuji comes to the Toricate restaurant along with Proud and the Slimes. After the food was served, Yuji, Proud, and the Slimes were very satisfied with the food here. Even Yuji asked for more. But the head of the restaurant said that the food Yuji ate earlier could have been tastier if the vegetables he used were of high quality. Unfortunately, this vegetable called Ligia is often hunted by monsters around the garden. Ligia's vegetables will not be found anywhere other than the city of Rickard. Yuji immediately said goodbye and was going to kill the monster. He just wanted to eat delicious food.
Kaku. 50匹くらいは倒したか。さすがに見つからなくなってきたな。
50 monsters in the forest were killed, and suddenly, Yuji's slime found a strange crystal ball. Then Yuji immediately called Dryad to check this crystal ball. He was afraid it was like a crystal stone at that time. Yuji is also holding the crystal ball, and it actually absorbs magic power. Dryad finally realized something. In every forest, there is magic power. This thing absorbs the magic power of the forest, so the weather here is very extreme. If the magical power of the forest is excessive, it will cause heat, and even the forest can catch fire. Dryad said that this thing was made by someone else. It couldn't exist naturally in the forest. Yuji also disabled the effect of the crystal ball, then immediately looked for other balls with the slimes. After deactivating the 108 crystal balls, Yuji still felt strange things around this forest, even when he entered the Rickard City area. All the crystal balls that have been deactivated form a circular pattern. Yuji immediately went to the middle point on the map because he was curious about what strange things he felt from yesterday. After arriving at the map's midpoint, Yuji asked Dryad's permission to burn a part of the forest. At first, Dryad didn't really agree, but she believed in Yuji's actions. This forest can grow again in the future, but if there is a problem in the forest, it must be resolved first. Then Yuji started to burn the forest. There seems to be a secret room buried in the ground, and it is this room that causes Yuji to feel something strange. Proud, the Slimes and Dryads were shocked. How can there be a door like this buried in the ground? Then Yuji will go inside to save the city, so he can eat delicious food more freely. On the other side, the headman of the Messiah was reporting to someone through a magic crystal. It turns out that they are members of an evil organization called Blue Moon. The mysterious person in the Dryad Forest in episode 1 is also a member of Blue Moon. After seeing Yuji earlier, they thought that Yuji was just a weak beast tamer as usual. Their goal is to destroy humanity because this world is already dirty and must be reset.
この汚れた世界に救済を